係都要成日吉祥物㗎嘛，我都要。好啦，我哋而家就係運動員同埋我哋一眾嘅頒獎嘉賓，我哋影張大合照先。恭喜晒得獎運動員，亦都咧多謝我哋嘅頒獎嘉賓，咁亦都請我哋嘅頒獎嘉賓咧可以移步咧去到我哋嘅觀眾席啦，繼續欣賞咁精彩嘅比賽。觀眾都好自動波啦嘛，我哋再次俾熱烈嘅掌聲，恭喜我哋2014香港公開羽毛球錦標賽女雙嘅亞軍同埋冠軍代表，分別咧就係嚟自日本同埋中國嘅女雙組合，恭喜晒你哋！咁一場咧咁精彩嘅女雙比賽之後咧，我哋精彩嘅賽事咧會一浪接一浪㗎，咁啊嚟緊咧我哋仲會女雙打完之後，下一場比賽我哋咧就會有女單嘅賽事㗎。
So before the women's singles final, a chance for us to look at the Destination Dubai rankings. This, of course, is for the qualifiers for the Super Series of finals. I can tell you that after this week in Hong Kong, the number 4 and 5 will change positions. Sina Nehwal will get up to number 4. Remember, of course, that Wang Yihan, as the third Chinese player, will not qualify. And that means that Akane Yamaguchi, the teenager, will become the youngest ever qualifier for the Super Series finals, because she's going to move up from 11 to number 9. Well, there is the draw for the women's singles, and very, very nice to see at semi-final stage 4 different nations, only 2 seeded players left in by semi-finals, and one of them, the current world champion Carolina Marin from Spain, beaten by the former world junior champion Okuhara. Well, it's interesting to me that for the second Super Series in 2 weeks, the women's singles final has been contested by players other than players from China. Of course, a week ago, it was Sina Nehwal against a player promoted from the qualifying Akane Yamaguchi. Wonderful, Morton, that she has qualified for the Super Series finals, Yamaguchi.
I think so.
Yeah,
it's quite impressive, isn't it? She's qualified in the top 8 or top 10.
Yeah.
But sometimes you still have to qualify for tournaments.
There's only one Super Series this year that she hasn't started in the qualifying.
You see, that's amazing that you start in qualification, but you still get that far in the tournaments. that you can play in Dubai in December.
Yeah.
I think that's amazing.
And what's equally amazing, I think, is Nozomi Okuhara's performance this week and in her last two tournaments, because the last two tournaments she has played prior to this Hong Kong Open, the Vietnam Grand Prix, and a couple of weeks ago, the Korean Grand Prix as well. She won both of those, so this is her third final in 3 tournaments played, and this is her first Super Series event of the year. Coming back from injury, we talked about that yesterday, and what a performance, I have to say, from the former world junior champion against the current world champion in yesterday's
match.
Yeah, semi-final. It really was extraordinary, wasn't it? Well, it was actually Tai Tzu Ying who was being introduced to the fans, the number 6 seed here.
Yeah, how misleading. World ranking 48.
Yeah. Down 11 places this week, incidentally. She'll go she'll go shooting back up again, won't she?
Absolutely. Yeah, I was so impressed when I saw her play yesterday. That was really a very, very good eye-opener. I think she played well.
Yeah.
Okuhara.
Yes, she certainly did. I remember watching her a couple of years ago and thinking what a precocious talent she is. And then, of course, that horrific knee injury, which needed surgery. And how wonderful to see her come back. And we talked yesterday about her comeback trail and how she's played international challenger events and then Grand Prix events, and now has emerged once again onto the Super Series. But here is the 20-year-old number 6 seed, Tai Tzu Ying.
They're not even 40 together.
No. This is her 6th Super Series tournament final. She's won a couple of titles before. Japan 2012 and last year the Malaysian Super Series. This is her 2nd Super Series tournament final this year. My goodness me, I don't seem to have been given any time to warm up the players at all.
I was very surprised.
Oh,
they had like 5 hits and then that's it. Off you go.
Well, this is just ridiculous. Well, you can see her win-loss record for the year. This 19-year-old from Nagano, and it was the 1998 Winter Olympic Games that took place in Nagano.
Oh, you've been checking up.
I have, and also some very sad news because, of course, in the last 24 hours, a rather serious earthquake in Nagano region, and certainly all our thoughts are with all those people affected by that, and I sincerely hope that her family are all safe and well. So this is the first meeting between these two players. The 19-year-old against the 20-year-old. 19-year-old from Japan, Nozomi Okuhara. Tai Tzu Ying, vastly more experienced in world terms. As I was saying, this is her 6th Super Series tournament final. You know, prior to arriving here in Hong Kong, Morton, Okuhara had only reached 1 quarter-final of a Super Series event, and that was when she actually injured her knee.
2 years ago.
2 years ago. To be in a final in your first Super Series of the year, making your comeback from injury, is just remarkable.
It is. But I can only repeat myself, you know. When I was watching her play yesterday, I thought, Mamma mia, she can play.
Yeah.
And she will she will definitely challenge the rest of the world for years to come.
Mm. And it's interesting, Morten, you and I were talking last week, and you reminded me of something that I'd said to you when you became a real regular alongside me in the commentary here, and because we've worked together for years, of course, but you know, and I was saying it's a very, very exciting time in women's singles in world badminton.
Yes, you did.
And these two players on court were two of the players that I saw a couple of years ago that made me think, wow, you know, 2-3 years time, it's all going to be different. And I wonder if we're just seeing a bit of a changing of the guard as far as total dominance by one country, as we've seen in the past. 2 Super Series tournaments back to back, no Chinese players.
No, it's unbelievable.
Mm.
And, you know, this could definitely be a trend.
Yeah.
You'd never know. China have to pick up their socks if they want to stay in the race here, because these young girls, they really play well.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's implying there's a little bit of sideway drift.
Yeah, from left to right as we look down on the court.
Yes. Good play. Good disguise. But in all honesty, I think for both of the players, they really need to settle in here. They had no chance of knocking up. No chance of warming up and play a few shots. They were asked straight away to play.
That's simply against the rules, isn't it?
I think you normally have at least 2 minutes or something, right?
It's a 2-minute warm-up, yeah.
And I'm sure they've been waiting in the corridor for quite a while before the prize presentation and all that. So,
yeah.
In all honesty, I think they need at least a few minutes to settle in.
Yeah. And as much as players warm up at the practice courts in the back of the building here, getting used to the match court, the atmosphere, you need that couple of minutes just to settle down, don't you?
Absolutely, settle a few nerves as
yeah.
well. It's out. Pushing the pace.
Yeah, look at those punch clears. Yeah. Well, because we didn't really get a chance to talk about her previous results prior to the match beginning, let me just run through what Okuhara has done so far in this tournament. First round, beat the recent winner of the Bitburger Grand Prix Gold, Sun Yu, in 3 games. Second round, beat the number 7 seed, the 2-time World Championship bronze medalist, PV Sindhu. Quarter-final, she beat the current World Junior Champion and beaten finalist from a week ago, her teammate Kane Yamaguchi, and yesterday, semi-final against the World Champion. For back-to-back results, that is impressive.
It is. It's very good. But so far, it's been a little bit of an erratic start for Okuhara here. I think she's made a few unforced errors, so she definitely have to start picking up now. Otherwise, her opponent, Tai Tzu Ying, is running away with this first game. She's got to watch out.
Oh, look at that delightful backhand.
Yeah, very nice safety shot from a very difficult position. That one there is the beauty. One more time. I love that shot.
She's probably one of the most naturally gifted in her shot production, or probably one of the nicest players in the shot production to watch in the women's singles game, do you think?
Yeah, she's got very nice action.
Yeah.
And as you say, it's so relaxed, it's nice and easy, it doesn't really seem to be under pressure. And she plays it with very good safety as well.
Yeah.
So she deserves to be 10-5 up. Tai Tzu Ying.
Oh, hesitation. Oh. Yeah. A little wry smile from Okuhara. Yeah. The formality to thank the court officials before she takes leave of centre stage for the mid-game interval. But Tai Tzu Ying, I think she was 2-4 down, wasn't she? And now at the interval, 11-5 up.
Yeah, she had a good run of points there. Look at that one, nice deception again.
Oh, she's busy talking to herself.
Yeah, she looks like a little bit of a feisty character here.
Now here's an interesting statistic, Morton. No Japanese player has ever
won in Hong Kong.
No.
Yeah, but it's a tall order, this young girl here. She's very experienced, as she said. Tai Tzu Ying, Chinese Taipei.
And he goes wide. Mind you, Chinese Taipei have only won one title here. Full Pomadi in 1996, and I'm not sure whether Indonesia will claim that or whether.
Yeah,
but he was actually representing Chinese Taipei at the time.
He was, but it was close. You know, I don't know when he actually moved, but
yeah,
I think that must have been early 90s. Oh, she's seen that.
yeah.
She never fell for that one. If we have this in slow motion, try to look at her footwork here. Okuhara here, because she was definitely anticipating that shot down there, the deep forehand corner.
Oh, look at that. No wonder she's pleased with that. Now that's interesting, a little verbal celebration there after that shot. Now I don't know whether she's trying to fire herself up. Certainly yesterday in her semi-final against Carolina Marin, we didn't hear a squeak out of her, I don't think.
No, not really. But you know, these small little sounds now and again. But that's why I yesterday say, you know, I think this determination comes all the way from her deep in soul.
Yeah.
She is a feisty player, and she would fight tooth and nail. Good clear. We're having some good badminton here.
It's gone long. Very, very good badminton.
And you can hear the crowd really appreciating it.
Mm.
The deceptive shots. by Tai Tzu Ying here. It's getting the crowd going. Suddenly, Okuhara has won the last. That's nice. Well, look at how she got that one back.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
And that's where I think there's a slight difference between these two players, because I feel that Tai Tzu Ying has got a little bit better attack.
Yeah, I would agree.
She's got a harder smash, and when she's behind it or really goes for it as she's doing here, she's got a little bit of an advantage. Once again.
Yeah, finds the line. We're looking straight down that line.
It's in.
Oh, there's a challenge.
But she will challenge it.
There's a challenge. It's our first challenge and involvement of Hawkeye. After all the troubles they've had in getting here.
At least they're getting in use.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think she will lose that one.
Yeah. Yeah, my instinctive reaction was the same as yours, Morten. That it was in. And indeed it was. Yeah, the crowd here at the Hong Kong Coliseum getting very excited about seeing Hawkeye on the giant screen.
One challenge remaining.
She has got wonderful disguise, Tai Tzu Ying, and I don't know whether it's the hitting technique or is it taking it early. I mean, how is she creating all this?
Yeah, but I think, which is so wonderful to see, that there is, at least in Denmark, there's a distinct, that's out.
Oh.
Yeah, she's calling that.
Yeah.
I think she's right on that one. Distinct difference between boys and girls.
Yeah.
Boys, they play a lot more, and thereby they develop all these trick shots and deception and all that, where the girls, they tend to say, oh, can I do this, can I do that, and they're not as adventurous. And I think that Tai Tzu Ying has simply just been, you know,
yeah, that's wide. That's definitely out.
Playing at home, you know, playing these deceptive shots, has enjoyed it and has got the skills to do it.
Yeah, experimenting with the racket, seeing what sort of trickery you can come up with.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just as well I wasn't brought up in Denmark then.
No, you would have been a very good spice. Yeah,
yep.
That's out.
Well done. Confirmed what we suspected.
Yeah.
Good challenge. Yeah, they love it, don't they, seeing the Hawkeye. So do we.
Yes, absolutely. Just adding on a spice to it. That's a nice shot she's got there.
Now, the only thing that's possibly going through my mind at the moment about Tai Tzu Ying, Morten, let's not forget she retired from her match last week in China in the second round against Sun Yu. Halfway through the second game, she retired. I don't know whether she was injured or whether she was ill, but I'm just thinking fitness, and the longer these rallies go on, the more perhaps I'm going to favour Okuhara.
Yeah, chances are, as you say, if you had trouble a week before, it's not a long time to recover.
No. Gosh, look at that.
That's
that
good.
is just
Yeah, she doesn't dare to challenge it.
No. No.
15-13.
It's a definite favourite shot.
Yeah, it's nice. Look at this. This is just brilliant. What a rally. Oh my goodness.
Look at how many times Tai
Unbelievable.
Tzu Ying is so deceptive. Look at that again. Look at that. I would say 9 out of those 10 shots, or 15 shots, or 14 out of 15, all deceptive shots. Small delays every single time. Look at that one. One more there. That one was going cross court.
Look at that. Yeah.
Oh,
String gone.
yeah.
Yeah. Now, Morton, I'm just a little bit confused. There was that last rally, not the one we've just seen, the one prior to that. You said that's her favourite shot. Now, were you referring to Okuhara?
Okuhara, she was having that reverse slice shot from her round her head position cross court.
Okay.
She really plays it well, and it's a very fast and very safe shots in her skills, and that's not normally that you're able to play it as fast as what she can do. Normally that is a slower shot than the slice shot from the other side, but she plays it very fast and very safe, and it's definitely one of her favorite shots. I'll point it out next time we see it. Yeah, that's out.
Serving over 17-15.
Oh, look at that. Well, when she's playing well, I don't think there's a player in the world that she can't beat. Tai Tzu Ying. She's already beaten Wang Xin, former world number 1, Wang Yihan, former world number 1, Wang Shoshian, former world number 1.
Yeah, but how did she do in the World Championships in August?
Yep. In the World Championship, she reached the quarter-final, where she lost to Carolina Marin. 3 games, if you remember.
You see, that's what I can't remember. Funny enough.
In fact, I think we commentated on it.
Yeah, that makes it even worse. Oh, it just shows that we are watching a lot of matches.
Yeah.
That's out.
Yeah. More game points have arrived for Tai Tzu Ying. High serve well long of the back line there.
Yeah, but I think she's playing with a little bit of drift here from this end.
Well, this is...
Anything is possible.
Yeah.
Anything. Look at the smile.
Yeah.
3 come and gone, 1 to go.
Oh, look at that. What a way to clinch the opening game. My goodness me.
And that is recognized by Okuhara here. Everything that, you know, the whole body language, you say, okay, what can I do with a shot like that?
Exactly. Just look at the power and the precision.
Look at this.
Played with disguise as well.
It is reversed, completely reversed. Beautiful shot. Look at this. You know, go home and practice.
Yeah.
What a shot.
That is absolutely magnificent. No wonder she's pleased, because that confirms the opening game. 21-19 in 22 minutes.
But this game is far from over.
Yeah. Once again, a good crowd in here at the Hong Kong Coliseum. First Hong Kong Open, you have to go all the way back to 1982. Well, what a thrilling opening game that was. 21-19 in favour of the number 6 seed, Tai Tzu Ying. Yeah, that's a nice angle too. And we perhaps ought to make mention, Morton, before we really get into this second game, about Chinese Taipei and Super Series success, of course. This year at the French Open, Chao Tian Chen completed Chinese Taipei's, well, I was going to say Grand Slam, sort of Grand Slam, in that they've now had players win Super Series titles in all 5 disciplines.
Okay.
And there's very few countries that can boast that. I've been racking my brain. I think it's only China, Korea, Denmark, Malaysia, Thailand, and now Chinese Taipei. I don't think Indonesia.
That's extraordinary.
Yeah, no women's singles since the Super Series came in.
Yeah, I do understand that, yes.
Yeah, but what a wonderful thing for Chinese Taipei, and it's with play like that that took...
Look at that.
Yeah. No, it's gone wide. Is there anything, Morton, that Okuhara should be doing differently tactically to get back into this?
Not really. I think she's got everything in terms of movement, shots, working hard, attitude. That is actually one of the shots I would like to see her play more. Every time she's been lifting from that situation. This time she played the net, she missed it, but that's one of the shots I have been looking for. But apart from that, you know, it's It's such a fine, fine, fine line between the two, and you know, you've got to go in there and take your chances. But if I may add something, I think that Tai Tzu Ying is a tough opponent for Okuhara to play, because if you look at the normal Japanese style of play, Okuhara is not really used to play such a deceptive player as what she's playing here today.
Very good point.
And I think she hasn't got that experience yet, and she needs to play on the circuit a little bit more and get used to this kind of shots as well, and she will be there. But at the moment she's struggling a bit because she's simply not used to it.
Pulled out.
Yeah, but what a punch clear that was.
Yeah. It's not just the disguise, though, from Tai Tzu Ying. I mean, what I love about her play is her creativity. She's always doing the unexpected, and
yeah,
and
but
I love
she gets out of trouble.
Yeah.
Many times on the unexpected. But Okuhara just have to, you know, keep working, see whether she can get some chances, get it back, play a little bit more aggressive now and again. I think she cannot just rely on retrieving the whole time. She's got to go in and take initiative as well.
Yeah.
See, that's what she's trying to get out of trouble with, another trick shot there. But good play of the Japanese, getting it very early and forcing her opponent here to take it this low at the net. So that's good play. That's out.
Yeah, it was woefully short as well, wasn't it? High clear, high serve. Yeah, wide of the centre line. Oh, there we go. Look at that.
I can understand how she's feeling there. She is working so hard and so just running the wrong way. Look at this. First time, second time. Here we go. Right in the corner. That's good scrambling by the Japanese. Under pressure, the whole rally, stayed in and worked her way through.
Podium, head coach in Japan. nice idea.
Yep, that would have been a winner. Tai Tzu Ying was way away from that one. That's a good play by the Japanese as well. Oh, she's chasing her. That's unlucky. Very good scrambling from the other side now, from Tai Tzu Ying. The way she got those shots back, she was under pressure.
Yeah,
And this one down the line, getting that one as well. Look at this. Totally caught.
Down on her knees at one stage, but got up so quickly.
10, 6.
So to the mid-game interval with a 5-point advantage. Well, she had a 6-point advantage in the opening game, did Tai Tzu Ying. So this is far from over yet, I can assure you. But Morton, what quality, what intensity and what pace of rallies we're seeing here.
Absolutely, and what I love as well is that we have a very knowledgeable crowd. They really appreciate it. They can see it. They can see how they're wrong-footing one another the whole time, how they're recovering, how they're scrambling, how they're getting it back, how one is up, then the next one you're down, and so on. And you can see the crowd. They love it.
Yeah.
It's a good lead for Tai Tzu Ying here. That's the one I was looking for. And once again.
Yeah.
Same as a sign and navel. That shot, I was looking for that.
Yet another good disguised punch clear.
And using the drift to her advantage, which is very clever. I think that Okuhara have to start pushing into the deep forehand corner of Tai Tzu Ying to avoid the drift and also to add on the pressure on that side.
Yeah, a bit of acrobatics there from Tai Tzu Ying. Signs that Okuhara is running out of
options.
Yeah. Shoji Sato desperately trying to keep his player focused into what she's supposed to be doing. Well, it was a definite opportunity. Yeah, I do like the way Tai Tzu Ying, even when she's made a bit of an error and she's annoyed with herself, still a big beaming smile.
She can't believe she missed it.
Yeah.
What's that?
Yeah.
But tactically, I think the Japanese Okuhara is really doing a lot of good things. Trying to use the drift on the forehand side to her advantage, play that net shot on the short backhand, and all these things. I think she's really trying. Good pressure again. See, once again here, using the drift, making sure that you play against the drift and it's not going wide on the sideline and all that. You know, she's doing the right things.
Yeah.
But whether it's too late or whether she can keep it in and keep the momentum, this is a beautiful shot.
Hit the frame of the racket with that. Well, when she's finding the lines like that, you can really see why she's been so highly ranked. She's been as high as 6 in the world. Oh, good judgment.
17-10. Service over. 11-17.
Well, if Okuhara wants to come back, I just feel she needs a little run of points right now.
She does. See if she could get to 14-15. That's a good shot.
What were we talking about? Doing the unexpected to get out of trouble?
Yeah, and that's what she's doing.
That was a perfect example.
It was. But when you have the skills as what Tai Tzu Ying has got, then you know, what a perfect way to use it.
It's going wide.
Yeah.
So 2 points away from the title, Tai Tzu Ying. Her second Super Series tournament final of the year. Of course, the first she lost, that was in Japan. One point needed now. 9 match point opportunities. It's gone long. And for Tai Tzu Ying of Chinese Taipei, a third Super Series title. A title to go with her first that she won in Japan in 2012, and last year the Malaysian Super Series crown. What a wonderful way for her to close out the regular Super Series tour, because she of course will be at the Super Series finals. Watches it closely, it goes long. She is one of the most delightful players, I have to say, to watch. The creativity, the disguise and deception, the pace with which she plays. And she is a thoroughly deserved champion. 21-19, 21-11 in 42 minutes. So I think we're going to get a word with Tai Tzu Ying in a minute. Courtside, there we are.
恭喜你，戴资颖！在香港这个公开赛，你是过关斩将了，击败了中国很多很有实力的球手。你想你是自己怎么样做得到的呢？
其实因为我就是上一个礼拜还感冒，然后过来这里的时候，就是第一场其实也打他们日本的选手，就是还蛮厉害的。然后那时候其实感冒还没好，然后就想说不要想太多，尽力打，就是尽力跑，因为可能会因为感冒很喘这样子。
感冒还能打得那么好啊？那你今天的感觉怎么样的？
就从大概8强开始就觉得身体状况恢复得差不多，然後在這邊比賽覺得很開心，大家都幫我加油。
好，非常恭喜你，謝謝，謝謝。咁啊，戴資穎咧就話咧，佢其實咧係有感冒啊，咁但係咧好彩咧打到去8強嘅時候咧，佢嘅感覺咧就已經係好返好多
Well,
啦。
our champion asked
咁至於今日咧
how
就
she
好多
felt
謝現場
about
觀眾
today's
咧為佢加
final,
油
and
打
she
氣
said she
啦，
was
咁
very
所以佢
happy
嘅表現咧都相當
with
滿意嘅。
the crowd support and very happy with the way she played, and rightly so, she should be. A 5th career title for Tai Tzu Ying, a 3rd Super Series.
Yeah, as you can see, we're having a full program here today. Young people dancing, entertaining the crowd, and soon we are ready to do the prize presentation. But first, I think the people doing the honors is going to be announced. And here we have the two players in the women's singles. On the left, Okuhara from Japan, and on the right, Tai Tzu Ying from Chinese Taipei. And the first to be announced was the president of the Hong Kong Badminton Association. Yes, and here we have Okuhara from Japan on the podium, runners-up in the 2014 Yonex Sunrise Hong Kong Open. And what a performance she has had in this tournament. She has had a great tournament. Today it wasn't enough, up against a very good playing Tai Tzu Ying from Chinese Taipei. And what a performance she had today, and not only today but the whole tournament. This has been a great tournament for her. And the players receive the medals, the trophies, the flowers, the checks, the teddy bears and everything. And what a record this young woman is having when she's playing in the big finals. She's winning lots of them, and that's a good trade for any good player. When you are there, having the opportunity, playing the finals, and able to win it, as what she did today with such fine style, great deception, beautiful shots, really played a wonderful game. Here we have the checks handed over, and as you can see, $26,250 to the winner. And then it's time for the traditional picture with the people presenting the prizes and the two players with the trophies, the mascots, the medals, the flowers, and all smiling to the photographers here while we're getting ready for the men's singles finals that's coming up very soon. Isn't it fantastic? These two athletes, only 20 years old and 19 years old, and we will see a lot of them in the future really taking on the world. With another 10 young players we've identified just the past 1 or 2 years. Women's singles is definitely into a massive transformation. I think there's been a little bit of a confusion here. You know what's next, and obviously they have to pick up the bags and rackets and leave the court and into the area where all the journalists will ask the questions and how and when and why. And these two young girls, they've got to get used to it for the future. It's all about developing the right personalities and sell themselves and the game in the best possible way.
So our next final is of course men's singles, and there's the Destination Dubai rankings. 8 different nations represented, of course, and after this tournament the 1 and 2 positions will swap. So Chen Long is definitely going to be the #1 qualifier, and of course with Lee Chong-wei under suspension it means that we will go down to the #9 to get our last qualifier, and that's Kenichi Tago for the Super Series finals. But let's make note of Srikanth Kidambi, semi-finalist here. He's going to go up yet more places. He's going to go up to #5. So Wan Ho, of course, is in the final. He will be going up 1 place, which means that Kento Momoto has got to go down 2 places, but they still qualify for the Super Series finals. Now, isn't that healthy situation? As with the women's singles semi-final stage, 4 different nations represented. Srikanth, another wonderful tournament, having won of course the China Open last week, beating Lin Dan in the final. He gave the current world champion a bit of a scare yesterday as well. The #2 seed, Jan Jorgensen, well, it wasn't to be his day against Son Wan Ho, but nice also to see a home player from Hong Kong in the quarter-final stage. Wei Nan, of course, the man to which I am referring, 2 Danes and 2 Chinese. Quarter-final stage onwards. But Morton, there's so much talk about one nation dominance in our sport of badminton. I think the IOC needs to start looking at some of these Super Series tournaments and semi-final stage and 4 different nations involved. I think it's a very healthy situation.
It is, and it's so good for the sport. You know, it's never in the interest of a sport if one nation is just too dominant. We
Yeah.
need to spread it around, and there have to be as many as possible winning the tournaments, and not only from one nation. And here we
Yeah.
have the two players coming in. Chen Long leading from China and Son Wan-ho from Korea.
Chen Long, winner of the gold medal at the recent World Championships in Copenhagen. My goodness, what battles these two men had at the recent Asian Games, though. Of course, in the final of the men's team competition, it was Son Wan-ho's victory over this man that set Korea on the path to their team gold medal. He really set the tone and set the stadium alight, I can tell you, Son Wan-ho with that victory. They then met each other again in the individual competition at those Asian Games in the quarter-final stage, and that's where Chen Long got his revenge, and of course he went on to take the silver medal. The world champion, Chen Long of China. Seventh final of the year for Chen Long. Son Wan-ho, this his second final of the year. His only previous final was at the Denmark Open, where he happened to lose to his opponent of today.
Of today, yes. Yeah, we were commentating that in Windsor.
Yeah, but I'm sure the victory at the recent Asian Games in the men's team final has given Son Wan-ho belief that he can win today. Number 1 seed against the number 6 seed.
Yeah, first time I really took notice of Son Wan-ho was when he played the All England a few years back, and he played a certain Lee Chong-wei from Malaysia, and I think it was the semi-final stage, and took Lee Chong-wei all the way in the 3 games.
I think it was quarter-final, and I think he'd come